Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of Travel with Rick. I'm here with my lovely wife, Leslie. Hey baby.
Hey.
How are you? Good to have you here, talking about cruising all month on Travel with Rick. You know, last week we were talking about our cruise on the Quantum. Let's take them over to Disney Cruise Line and tell them about our recent cruise on the Fantasy. Right?
Sure, yes.
So we've sailed on all the Disney ships. We kind of like the Fantasy, don't we?
I do like it of the larger ship. Of the two, yes, I do like it better.
But the smaller ones, which one do you like?
Well, now that's a toss-up. I like both the Magic and the Wonder.
So you just might as well say you like all the ships.
Well, I do like all the ships, but I do have preferences.
Right. So the Fantasy isn't, in my opinion, my favorite of the two larger ships as well, just because they made some improvements to it that I'm sure that the Dream will be getting as soon as she goes into dry dock. The Dream and Fantasy are sister ships. The Dream was built in 2011, the Fantasy was built in 2012, and they did add some things to the Fantasy, I guess, after they saw the Dream sailing that made it a little bit nicer. Love Satellite Falls. That's where we did our Periscope one day. Actually, I think our Sail Away day or our St. Thomas day. We actually did a Periscope. If you guys are following us on Twitter, if you're not, you should be, because we're hanging out on Periscope occasionally when we got some cool stuff to share with you. And, you know, got some changes to the entertainment district and some other changes that are really nice in the Fantasy. So I do really like it as well. It's a nice ship.
It is.
And it sails out of our home port of Port Canaveral, which is only about an hour from here, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And if you're wondering why we're not out by the pool where we normally do our videos, it's pouring rain out there. So,
yeah, and very windy, so it's not very nice.
and we kind of had to bring it inside. So the Fantasy is an awesome ship. Sails out of Port Canaveral. We did an Eastern Caribbean, which is St. Martin, St. Thomas, and Castaway Key, Disney's private island. Best private island in the business, right?
Absolutely. Of the few that I have been on for the cruise lines, I would say hands down, Disney's island is the best.
Yeah, and we'll tell you some more about that in a minute. But let's talk about some of our ports first.
Okay.
St. Martin's awesome.
Yes.
We love St. Martin.
We do. It's a
Really
very
cool
cute
place.
town.
Really cool place to go. Wasn't too cool this time though. It was kind of warm.
It was very warm.
Yeah, it was a little warm there. I kept wondering why it wasn't cooler in the islands. I thought with the tropical breezes it'd be cooler than home, but it was pretty much as hot as Florida.
Yeah, it was, and it was just blowing warm, humid air.
Yeah. So we didn't do an excursion in St. Martin this time. We have before. There are some great excursions there. You know, I'm sure you can go zip lining. You know, there's lots of catamaran sailings, which we've done in the past. We've done snorkeling over by St. Bart's.
Yeah.
You know, there's just lots of cool things. Some of those catamaran sail and snorkel. You can get lunch. You can just snorkel. You can hang out on the beach. Lots of things to do there. There's also another great tour that we did years ago that we love, which is called Under Two Flags, which kind of gives you
Overview
of the island, because St. Martin's kind of an interesting island in that it's the smallest land mass governed by two sovereign bodies, the Dutch and the French. So one half of the island, I guess roughly half of the island is Dutch and one half of the island is French. So that's kind of cool. There's also a great airport there. A lot of people like to go and see the planes kind of like zoom right over the beach. It almost looks like you could just reach up and touch the planes.
Yeah, it's a big tourist attraction over there, and actually it's a dangerous area to be, but
be really careful.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. You can really get blown around a pretty good bit. But
some people hang on the fence. I've seen pictures of people hanging on the fence and blown by the jets that are taking off. Seems not real, not my kind of excursion, I'll just say.
Well, it's not an excursion offered by the cruise lines. It's something you would have to take a taxi over to that island, part of the island, and do that. There's lots of stuff on YouTube about it.
Kind of a personal excursion you can check out. But we've got a little place that we found there. So we actually, and a tip for you, if you don't mind walking, there's a shuttle a shuttle boat that'll take you into the main part of the island. We kind of avoid that and go the little scenic walk.
We take the walkway.
Yeah, so there is a walkway if you don't want to do that. We prefer to walk rather than be kind of crammed in on those cattle boat kind of things, but you know.
Yeah, we've done it both ways.
We have.
And I think it's like $7. Is it round trip? Yeah, it's $7 round trip. They give you a bracelet. So if you're unable to do the walk, because a walk is about a mile or so.
Yeah, not far.
It's not far, but it's a mile or so. And if you're not physically able to walk that distance, the boats are wonderful transportation over there. They run them all day.
Right.
And you can do that, or if you enjoy walking for the exercise, definitely walk off some of that
Wonderful food.
cruise food and
Right.
cruise beverages that we massively consume while we're away.
And they drop you off in the kind of the duty-free area, so you can do some shopping there. And then there's lots of places down the beach that you can. They actually run these great specials. You can get 2 beach chairs and a bucket of beers for $25 if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they'll negotiate with you too, like
Oh,
everything in the islands. But there's lots of people renting beach chairs and cabanas and providing you with beverages as well. But there's a little place that we like to go. It actually works out with our walk, because our walk kind of drops us off right at this little place. And for years we would go there and we didn't even know the name of it. But this time I actually took a picture of their sign because they had a name out. And it's called Fisherman's Grill. But it's a great place to go and get, you like, what is it, Kalik beer? Is that the one that you like? The local beers.
The local beer.
Leslie drinks local beers wherever we go, which I think is really cool. So she likes to try the local beers, and they have other alcoholic beverages there, as all island places do. Long Island teas, not necessarily island, but it was on their menu. And they also have painkillers and hurricanes and all those tropically island boat beverages, So, but they have great food there too. The wings are pretty good. Remember we used to do the wings there?
Yeah.
And so they have these Jamaican kind of style, they call them buffalo wings, but I guess they should call them St. Martin wings, but they were pretty good. But that was our port in St. Martin. St. Thomas, we had a really nice time there as well. Again, this trip, because we just got back from Norway cruise and we'd done so many excursions, this time we just decided to wander into the ports and kind of hang out on our own, which we like to do in little island places. In Norway, you got to go do excursions, and we'll tell you all about that next time on TWR, because we're talking about cruising all month. And we want to tell you about our Norway and our Baltic cruise next week. But this time, again, just wanted to relax, hang out with our friends. And so in St. Thomas, we just kind of wandered in, looked around the port, and hung out on the ship quite a bit. We actually did a periscope. We did 2 periscopes when we were in St. Thomas. Again, kind of plug in our periscope channel there. But we showed you around the ship, and then we did the sail away, which is pretty cool. We had about 250 people, I think, join us for our sail away from St. Thomas, which it's a beautiful little port.
Oh,
it's got that little cove right there.
Yeah, they've really done it up nice now. It's really nice shopping in there for people who wish to go shopping. And there's also in the port there is a store if you need to buy anything.
Yeah,
and
there's a big drugstore there. There's a big department store, big liquor store there. There's a lot of duty-free shops. So if you're looking to stock up on beverages, now particularly since we've had a lot of conversations about Disney changing their alcohol policy, that's one thing that you can do. You can restock in ports if that's important to you. But anyway, in the port, it's just beautiful. I just love that little bay area. They have the lagoon there with all the sailboats around and all the boats coming in and out.
Well, that was in
St. Thomas.
Oh, I thought that was St. Martin.
No, that's in St. Thomas that we see that there. You got the, remember on the one side of the ship over there we have Senior Frogs, and then on the other side we have kind of like that open bay area there where all the sailboats are, and the mountain, and remember there's that Marriott right around the pier.
Oh, yeah.
So lovely port. We just enjoy going there so much. There's also, if you're so of such a mind to do, they have a funicular that goes up to the top of the mountain, which is really nice.
That would be nice to see all around.
Years ago, remember?
Yeah, it was a long time.
Kids were small,
right?
Kids were tiny then when we did that. So that's kind of a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
And also one of the great things about St. Thomas is St. John.
Yeah, we did
so that's an excursion to go over to there. You take a boat ride over to the next little island, which is St. John. St. Thomas is a U.S. Virgin Island, so it's a U.S. territory, and St. John is as well. The interesting thing about St. John is that I think it's about 85 or 90% of it is a wildlife refuge or it's a national park. So there are great hiking trails. Some of the most beautiful beaches in the world there are gorgeous, and the really cool thing. It's terrible. The really cool thing we like about St. Thomas is it is a U.S. territory. Our phones work.
Yay!
So it's almost like being at home. So again, another reason that we were able to be on Periscope and share some of our trip with you.
Exactly.
So that was pretty cool. All right, so moving right along, we'll get to our last port, Castaway Key, which was amazing, but had some really cool things going on in the ship. We had a talk from Pharrell Barron. Remember that?
That
was pretty
really
cool.
good, yes.
He was on the ship. He was the producer of Planes, Fire, and Rescue. And so he did a talk on the ship all about what it is to be a producer. And he talked about the differences, between a producer and a director.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And he went through, what it was like producing the movie and talked a lot about the studios and John Lasseter and, different things with Pixar, because John Lasseter is not only the head of Pixar, but he's also the head of Disney Toon Studios and Disney Studios. So that was pretty cool. I won a hat. That was nice.
He had all kinds of little giveaways at the end, and you won. It was a
trivia thing.
Trivia, yeah. I was trying to think of that word.
He did some Planes trivia at the end, or trivia from his talk, to see who was sleeping or paying attention. Luckily that day I didn't sleep. I didn't take a nap during his talk. I actually listened through it, and I won a hat, which we gave to a friend of ours,
yes.
Who was actually a fireman. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
got a patch for his shirt and a hat that says Planes, Fire, and Rescue. So now he's an animated fireman, which was kind of cool. Another thing that we did on this cruise is we used your fish extender. Remember that?
Yes,
so tell them about fish extenders. That's pretty cool.
Well, the fish extender is a big thing that, and actually, I guess on the larger sailings, they have groups of people that get together that are part of their groups, and they go around placing little candies or little whatnots in your fish extenders. And I, this time, did not participate in one of those. It was just a 7-night sailing, and I still wanted to hang it out because I had purchased it and had it made, and I thought, well, you know what? We bought the darn thing. Let's hang it outside our stateroom.
And people still stuck stuff in it.
And they did.
Okay. So outside your stateroom, there is a fish,
Yeah.
right? And you call it fish mail, basically, because that's where they stick your Palo cards or any invitations that you have. So it's basically where
Paperwork.
the crew puts your mail is on top of this fish. Well, what people do is they actually make these extenders. They're like pouches that hang on the fish and then allow you pouches, and people decorate them up with Mickeys and names and different things. Pardon me?
Do you want me to go get mine?
We'll show a picture of it. How about
okay,
that?
yeah.
That's just as good. And from that, you can actually buy them. I think you bought yours on Etsy or somewhere.
Yeah, I had someone make it on Etsy.
Not to plug any other thing, but you can order them online. Let's just say that. So you can buy different ones. You can buy. You saw a picture of ours. You can buy ones that have Mickey and Minnie and Captain Mickey and Minnie. But it's kind of a cool thing to do, and you get some really interesting gifts.
Yeah, we had
cool.
someone dropped in some candies in ours, and then someone, and I just love homemade crafts that people take the time and energy, their personal time and energy to make. And this one person, whom I don't know who the gift came from, gave us 2 bookmarks that were handmade.
Beautiful.
They were, and they had the name of the cruise ship and the date of the sailing on the back of it, and it was really moving to receive something that's so simple, but yet so much heart and soul goes
really
into
nice.
it.
Really
And
cool.
it was, and they're really nice little mementos that you get. So bring your little fish extender.
Make your own or buy one online. It makes your cruise a little more interesting, and you run back to your room almost to see if anybody put something in there.
That's
You do,
it's
kind of cool.
That's when you participate in one of the programs.
Right.
There's usually stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of in-room gifts, another thing that we enjoyed so much on this cruise and all the Disney cruises that we have taken are towel animals.
Yeah, so
every night, when you go out to dinner, go out to the show, your stateroom host or hostess will come back and do your room and do your turn down and close your curtains and get everything ready, straighten up your room. Well, they always leave a towel animal on your bed, and every night it's something different. And sometimes they'll even take things from your room to decorate.
Incorporate them.
Like hats or sunglasses or scarves, interesting things. We've had things as elaborate as Maine lobsters and elephants and huge things, giraffes. So it's not just the small little whatevers that they used to get. These things are getting more elaborate, where they take the bedspreads and the towels.
Yeah, they incorporate all that.
They do all kinds of things. So the towel animals are pretty cool, right?
Yeah, they are.
Right. And then another thing that we really love on Disney Cruise Line so much is Palo. right?
Yes,
we didn't do a brunch this time. We normally
No.
really enjoy brunch, but we didn't do a brunch this time.
No.
But we did do a dinner, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, it
I had the
always
lamb
is.
chops. I've been missing the lamb chops, so
yeah.
I had the lamb this time.
Yeah.
Remember what you had?
I have no clue what
I
I
have to look
got.
at the pictures and see. I don't
Yeah.
recall what you had either, but I do remember what I had. I had the marinated pesto shrimp, the garlic and pesto shrimp, which is amazing. I know you had the calamari. You always have the calamari.
Well, yeah, the fried calamari that they serve.
Yeah,
as
for the appetizer. Yeah,
yeah.
that was great. With the little cherry peppers that they deep fry. I mean, anything deep fried is good, right?
Well,
just amazing.
Coming from the south, yes.
Yeah, right. But Palo is just fantastic. Great view. It's top deck, deck 11 on that.
12?
On that ship, I think it's probably 12. Yeah, I think it's probably 12.
Yeah.
So you know, more decks on the Fantasy. So top deck. Let's just leave it there. After the ship, great view. Lots of windows. So on the two larger ships. Okay, so first on the two smaller, on the two classic ships, the Magic and the Wonder, the back of the ship is all Palo. So you have 270-degree windows to look out the entire back of the ship. Well, on the Fantasy and the Dream, Palo is still on the aft top deck, but it shares the aft top deck with Remy. So on one side you have Remy, and on the other side you have Palo, with this wonderful bar lounge in the center called Meridian, which, you know, the three of those make up the entire back of the ship. So you can just imagine the views and the windows and the things that you have there, whether you're in Remy, whether you're in Meridian, or whether you're in Palo. Well, this time we were in Palo. Wonderful windows. Had a large table with all of our friends. It was great. We tried some great wines, some great Prosecco's. Had some wonderful food, didn't we? And great service.
Oh, absolutely. Always
Fantastic.
at Palo, we have never been disappointed with our service there.
Right, right.
Impeccable.
It's always good, always fantastic. Some of the best food, and I always like to say it's one of my favorite restaurants on land or sea. It's really great. It's really fantastic. It's not just, for me, it's just not just a cruise ship restaurant. It stands up with any restaurant that we've ever been to. It's one of my favorite places to eat.
What makes it really nice is the service,
Yeah.
is just really puts it up that extra notch.
Such a great, relaxed dining atmosphere. You know, you don't rush. You just take your time, enjoy all the great food. When you go with a larger group, they'll usually bring out like kind of appetizers a little more family style. If you have a larger group, if you want. Again, it's up to you. You can tell your server yes or no on that. But you know, it gives you an opportunity to try more things and explore. And the souffle. You love the souffle.
Yeah, that chocolate souffle, gotta do that. Oh my
it's
goodness.
fantastic. Yeah, order it early. Your server will let you know that, but you know, it takes a little bit to prepare. So they usually go ahead and ask you at your dinner. You can wait about some other desserts, and you can order multiple desserts, obviously. But you know, usually they'll go ahead and just say, if you're thinking about the souffle, let me know so I can put one in. For
Yeah,
you,
because that does take time. They are made to order. I guess, is that how you say that? Made to order.
Yeah.
So we want to make sure you, if you at least try it.
Awesome. Well, let's talk about Castaway Key.
Oh yes.
Castaway Key is fantastic, isn't it? It's the
It's
greatest
lovely.
private island. It's wonderful in that, number one, they don't tender there like they do in a lot of private islands. We were just talking about the Quantum and Royal's private island. Great private island as well, but you have to take the tender boats to it.
Yeah.
This is awesome because Disney has gone to the extra labor and expense and planning to actually put in a dock there. So they actually dock the ship there. And so you can just walk on and walk off. They have trams to take you around the island because it's a rather large island. They have family beaches, teen beaches, adult private area down at the end of the runway. They actually have a working runway on the, or you know, I guess it's a working runway. They actually have a runway on the island. You can imagine maybe in the 70s what this island might have been used for, you know. But anyway, there's great opportunities to bike and to snorkel and to do water sports on the islands. You can hike, just walk around the island. There's actually a 5K that they do on the island.
Yes,
every
there
time.
is.
So early in the morning, if you're ready to run off some of that food, you can participate in an international 5K. You know, and they've got a nice cool medal now. A nice new cool medal.
They do have a nice medal now.
They've revised the medal, so that's pretty neat. Got characters on the island. You can meet Mickey and Minnie and Goofy and all your friends, and one of your favorite friends is always there.
Oh yes, Captain
Jack
Jack.
Sparrow.
Yes, wouldn't
He's
be.
always there. But you avoid him.
I do. I don't know why. I like looking at him at a distance, but I don't want to get near him. So.
But Leslie's a huge Johnny Depp fan and a huge Pirates fan. It was funny when we were in Venice. The International Film Festival was going on in Venice, and so we saw a lot of stars there. Diane Keaton got a picture with her, sorry, not with her, but you know, she was nice and kind and spoke and was really friendly. We kept kidding Leslie that Johnny Depp was there. He truly was there, but we kept kidding her that she was going to run into him. And you were like, not sure about that.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but not cool.
All right. So usually on Castaway Key, we'll go and spend time at the adult beach. If it's just you and I, we'll go down to Serenity Bay, which is our favorite place to go, unless we're with friends and we do what we did this time.
Yeah, we did. We
rent a cabana.
We did. We rented a cabana on Family Beach because it allows more people to be there.
Yeah, because there were like 7 of us, 6 of us?
7.
Yeah, 7 of us there. So makes a great time. You actually have a cabana. You actually have a building, you know, and you have service to it, bar service to it. You have a little intercom that you can call. You have a fridge that's stocked with sodas and waters and fruit and chips and sunscreen, and they'll bring bikes. We didn't bring bikes.
No, we didn't ride bikes.
That would have been smart to do, but we kind of just hung out on the beach and enjoyed spending time with our friends.
We floated in the floats.
Yeah, you have floats that are there for you.
And an outdoor shower.
Outdoor shower is really cool.
Nice chase lounges.
And even a hammock there. So, you know, it's just a great little private area that you can, you know, have shelter from the sun, have a place to enjoy your beverages, enjoy your friends, enjoy hanging out. It's just an awesome time on really, I mean, it's nothing short of paradise there, right?
It is. It's a place that you just don't want to leave.
The whole island, I mean, not just the cabana.
Right.
So whether you enjoy the family beach or whether you enjoy the adult beach or whether you enjoy the cabanas, you can't have a bad time on Castaway Key unless you get bad weather. But we had a great day and it just made for a fantastic time there, right? It was just a wonderful cruise.
It was. It was.
And then it was pack it up, last night of dinner, roll off our bags as we do, and home in an hour, right?
Oh, a little over an hour, yeah.
It makes for, you know, it's one thing to fly to Copenhagen, 12 hours, 10 hours, whatever it was, to get on the ship, but it's another thing just to drive an hour away and get on the ship.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer, it's a lot nicer, obviously.
Okay, so I guess that wraps it up for our little fantasy Eastern Caribbean cruise.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I don't have anything extra to say. You have some notes there.
Yeah, I think we covered everything. So if you got any questions, drop us some questions in the comments, or as always, hit me up, rick@travelwithrick.com. Oh, wait a minute. It's cruise month. We've got a special. So anytime you contact Kingdom Magic Vacations, obviously our real job and our sponsor, this month to book a cruise, we've got a really special gift for you, shipboard credit. Call and check it out. So you can check out the link below, or you can call our toll-free number, speak with one of our great cruise agents who would love to help you plan any type of cruise, whether it be on Royal Caribbean, if you watched our Royal Caribbean last time, or if you saw our any of the other cruise stuff that we've been doing, our cruise tips that we had before, or on a Disney cruise, or any cruise line, as I said. So give us a call. Let us help you plan your trip. So that's Cruise Month on Travel with Rick. We'll be back next week, and we're going to talk about Norway. Norway is fantastic, right?
Yeah,
that was fantastic. Yeah, you don't want to miss that one. So next week we'll be talking about Norway, and that's going to wrap it up. So if you're planning a cruise, check us out. And if you're just thinking about a cruise, check us out next week, because we're going to be talking about cruising again. And Food and Wine is coming soon. We're almost there. All right, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. Look forward to seeing you right back here on another episode of Travel with Rick real soon. So long, everybody.
Bye.
When it's time to plan your next vacation, you need the experience of someone who can help you make the best decision for your vacation dollars. With over 18 years of experience, Kingdom Magic Vacations can help you plan your next trip to incredible destinations like Disney, Universal, cruises, and all-inclusive destinations. Our team of travel planners are with you every step of the way. All you have to do is relax and enjoy your vacation. We do all the work. Call 866-972-6244 or visit kingdommagic.com to start planning your vacation today.
Hey guys, coming to you from a blustery day here in Cozumel, Mexico. Check out these two beautiful Royal Caribbean ships, the Liberty and the Brilliance of the Seas. They're incredible, and this is an incredible port. I want to take a few minutes and just thank you for watching this week's show. Remind you to drop your email address up there in our box. That'll get you signed up for our updates. So every time we put something new here on the blog, you'll be the first to know about it. You'll get a notification in your email. That way you won't miss a thing. If you want to keep up with what's really going on at Travel with Rick, check us out over on facebook.com/Travel with Rick. That's our Facebook page. That's where we post our question of the week, and that's where you can interact with us, find out where we're going, what we're doing, what we like, and you can also check out other Travel with Rick friends over there as well. And speaking of checking us out, if you're on YouTube or iTunes, yep, we've got channels for you over there as well. Listen, you never know where we're going to be next. We could be in some blustery port like this, or who knows. So check us out right back here next week. Find out for yourself. I look forward to seeing you right back here. So long, everybody.